Hello and welcome back. This is lesson 7 of the VIGBE course, The ABC of Artificial Intelligence. The topic is No Coding Required, AI Tools for the Higher Education Teacher and Researcher, Part 2. Thank you for joining us in this lesson. I am Adewale Adeshina. In the last lesson, we saw how we could leverage machine learning models for classification in different projects in our respective fields. We were able to use teachable machine provided freely by Google in doing this. We saw that the main benefit of machine learning is its ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. So using the data that we use in training them, the computer, the machine, is able to identify patterns, it can make predictions, and even take decisions. So this leads to many practical solutions. Before we go on, I would like to show you what we experience regularly in our day-to-day assignments and tasks. It's simply this, a blank page. Would it not be nice to have a tool that can help you to write maybe a first draft, or give some ideas, or even maybe create images for us? This is where AI tools can come in. Several companies have created third-party tools that have been made available for users around the world. As we may already know, some of them are free to some extent, while the others you will need to buy a monthly or annual subscription for this service. So in this video, we will journey through the world of generative AI, focusing on the key main areas that are essential for educators and researchers. First, we will explore the useful data sets that fuel the engines of generative AI. We'll look through renowned platforms and repositories such as Kaggle, UCI Machine Learning Repository, and the Google Dataset Search. These libraries are important. Next, we'll delve into the fundamental principles that form the bedrock of generative AI. However, as we marvel the advancements of generative AI, it is crucial for us to acknowledge and navigate the limitations that currently exist with this ecosystem. So we'll discuss existing limitations and challenges. Finally, we'll get to look at different categories of generative AI tools that we as educators and researchers can use today. Most of these tools we can get to use without writing a single line of code. First, a question that comes into mind is, how can I get data to use? Where are the data sets? Actually, data is available in many sources, and I'll just point us to 3 of them that are maybe key today. The first is probably the most popular, which is known as Kaggle. Kaggle is a popular online platform that hosts a wide variety of datasets across different domains. It is community-driven, and many data enthusiasts, researchers, and practitioners can find, share, and collaborate on datasets here at Kaggle. The next one is the UCI Machine Learning Repository. So here we have a collection of databases, domains, theories, and data generation that are widely used by the machine learning community for empirical and machine learning tasks. Another one is the Google Dataset Search. Google has always been working also in the area of artificial intelligence. The Google Dataset Search is a search engine specifically designed to help users find datasets stored across the web. It indexes datasets from various sources, including academic repositories, government databases, and online platforms. Users can search for datasets using keywords, filters, and categories. So just a quick demo. This is Kaggle. So just go to kaggle.com, and under datasets, you'll be able to see different data sets that you could use in either your work, research, and the likes. So you could see different categories, computer science education, computer vision. Several data sets are available here. In fact, the previous lesson I used the data set that came from cats and dogs. So I just simply searched cats and dogs, and luckily there was a data set that met my requirements, and then you see a link to download and use. So that is Kaggle. The next is the UCI machine learning repository. Here again you have several data sets available that people have contributed here. So you can, for instance, look at a subject area and then look at the data available. So it's a community which everyone can contribute. Once you have good data, it can be contributed to the site. Then last but not the least is the data set search by Google. So again, you can enter any topic of your choice and search for data sets that are available, and you can use them. So these data set sources offer a wealth of data resources for us in our quest to use AI. We can use them for training our models, conducting experiments, and of course, exploring new ideas. Let's digress a little. Many great players like the Super Eagles legend JJ Okocha will tell you that they spend a lot of time watching the moves of other great players, and they also go through rigorous training. After this, they are able to use their creative talents to develop their own very unique moves. AI platforms and tools have been learning from us through the algorithms we create and the vast amount of data we make available to them. Also, we have significantly improved computing power, and now we have come to the point where we are in the world of generative AI tools and platforms. These have taken the world by storms, and they are creating their own new moves. We as humans need to be watching them too, and it is important that we remain in full control. Now let's look at some principles behind generative AI. These principles are rooted in the field of machine learning and involves training models to generate new data that resembles the data that we used for training them. The first principle is learning from data. Generative AI models learn patterns and characteristics from a large data set of examples. By analyzing the training data, these models learn the underlying structure and distribution of the data. Next is probability distributions. Generative models aim to capture the probability distribution of the training data. They learn to estimate the likelihood of a particular data point occurring based on patterns observed in the training set. For example, in the large language models like ChatGPT, they work by trying to predict what is the best likely next word in a sentence. Generative AI often involves unsupervised learning, where the model learns from the data without explicit label or guidance. Here, the model is able to discover patterns and relationships in the data on its own. Then we have adversarial training. Some generative AI models, such as generative adversarial networks, are popular. In this approach, two neural networks, that is the generator and discriminator, are trained simultaneously. The generator then aims to generate realistic samples, while the discriminator tries to distinguish between real and generated samples. The competition between the two networks improves the quality of the generated data over time. Evaluating the quality and realistic nature of the generated sample is also very crucial in generative AI. Various evaluation metrics and techniques, such as human evaluation or statistical measures, are used to assess the generated data's quality. Now, the feedback from the evaluation is used to improve the model iteratively. The last but not the least is ethical consideration. Generative AI raises a lot of ethical consideration, such as the potential for misuse, bias, and the need for responsible generation. And therefore, it is important to consider the societal impact and establish guidelines for the ethical development and deployment of AI as we use them today. So these principles form the foundation of generative AI, and so they can guide us in our use of the different applications. So AI can assist us in several ways. The first is probably creation of the first draft of documents. Next, it can help us to handle mundane and repetitive tasks that we do all the time. Then AI can help to speed up ideation and even suggest improvements to our work. But it is important that we understand that we humans, the authors, must remain in control. It may be very, very tempting to trust the AI too much. Now let's look at some limitations of the current generative AI ecosystem. The first is lack of deep understanding. These AI models often lack true understanding of the content that they are generating and presenting. What they produce may be inconsistent, biased, or even factually incorrect. That's why many of these AI companies will put disclaimers if you go on their pages. For instance, the chatbots, they will tell you that the AI may produce false or inaccurate content. Next, the quality and diversity of the generated content heavily depends on the training data. So biases, inaccuracies, or even underrepresentation of the training data can lead to similar issues in the generated content. Ensuring that generative AI models produce content that aligns with specific requirements, such as style, tone, or factual accuracies, can be challenging. So while generative AI can create novel combinations of patterns from training data, it can struggle to generate true original or creative content that goes beyond the scope of the training. Training and running large-scale generative AI models requires significant computation power, which can be very costly and limit accessibility for some users or organizations. The use of copyright materials in training data raises questions about the ownership and legal implications of generated content. Generative AI can also be used to create fake content, such as deepfakes, which can be used for malicious purposes or to spread disinformation. Also, generative AI may struggle with understanding and incorporating common sense knowledge that we as humans take for granted, leading to outputs that are, nonsense or inappropriate in some cases. Assessing the quality and coherence of generated content can be subjective, and they can be challenging, making it difficult to establish standards of evaluation. Generative AI models also may have difficulty understanding and adapting to the broader context and purpose of generated content. As the generative AI ecosystem continues to evolve, researchers and developers are working at addressing these limitations to improve the quality control and reliability of generated content. After that general background, now let's look at some generative AI tools that can be used for teaching and lesson, bearing in mind what we have considered before now. The first is we're looking at AI tools for creating presentations. So sometimes you want to create very quick presentations. There are tools, generative AI tools, that can help us with that. I have 3 named here, and there are many that we can look up. The first is Storm. The second is Dectopus or Decoctopus, and the third is Canva. These tools can help in creating presentations. Let's take a look. So this is the first one, called Tom. You simply get there by going to tom.app, and then you will be able to follow the instructions and come here. Some of these tools, or many of these tools, are not free, but they can give you some credits that you can work with to begin with. So for instance, start making your first presentation, so generate with AI. You can also browse templates available, take time and explore them. So let's go on generate with AI. So you want to create a presentation, and then all you need to do is to type the name of the presentation you want. So for instance, if I say characteristics of living things, okay, and I simply click generate outline. So immediately it has tried to put in some characteristics for me. The outline, it suggested some things. I can look at it if it's what I want. I can add, I can subtract and edit, And if you are satisfied with what it has created, you can just click on, or you can choose layout. Okay, so this brings you to where you can select layout for that you will like. So for instance, I want this, something that looks like this, and this can be edited anyway. Then you go to the next page and select what the next page is, and of course you can choose to edit the text as you want, and then you go next. And so you select based on the number of pages you want, and you have your presentation ready. I'll just stop here. So at the end of the day, you generate your presentation and it is ready for your use. This is Dectopus, another one, but I realized this one used to have free credits, but now it's like it requires payment. But the idea is the same. You simply type the topic you want and then click generate my presentation. Some AI tools have also been developed for generating questions. So you have tools like Prep AI, Quillions, QuestionWell, OpenExams.com. There are many of them. But I would just like to show Prep AI. This is Prep AI. So you just need to go to app.prepai.io and you come to a page like this. So what this does is, this is a demo anyway. What this does, it gives you a place where you can type and paste your content, either from a course material or lecture note, or even from a video. You can get a YouTube video or even upload a PDF material here. So it will help you to develop questions based on the content that you have provided or uploaded here. So for instance, here you have a content already pasted here. You simply click generate questions. So it asks you to start a 15-day trial. So I've just quickly signed in, and this is just a trial account, 216 days to go. So what can I do? So document text. So I have some text here. I can decide the question types I want: MCQ, medium, hard, true or false, descriptive, whatever I want I specify, and I can say question count up to 10 or whatever, and then simply click on generate question. Here's the results from the demo I did earlier. So it shows immediately MCQs, easy, hard, fill in the blanks, everything generated from the content that we provided. So a tool like this can be useful, especially when we need to generate lots and lots of questions for our students from the content that we have created. Another category of tools are the image creators. So this helps us to create images, photos, and things like that. The most advanced appears to be Midjourney, and this is the website here. And then you have the Adobe Photoshop, Firefly. They are also very good. Then DALL-E, which comes from OpenAI, actually. That's the makers of ChatGPT. They also have a good image creation tool. Quickly, let's look at what they can do. Now, this is Midjourney. These are the kind of things that you can create on Midjourney. Realistic photos. You just give a text prompt and it gives you the message. Okay, this was created in Midjourney as part of the materials that have been uploaded for people to see. You can see the prompt that generated this is simply using the style of Dale Churchley, a large rainbow colored pair of lungs. The lungs have a soft pink, purple, all this, a good description of what you want. Imagine in a class or for a project you want, you can just go give a prompt and the material will be created for you. And Photoshop has come up with its own. So this is from Photoshop. If you say generate a jaguar, for instance, you just put in what you want and click on generate, it brings it out. This is from Adobe Firefly, and look at this creative work. Dog in a sweater, primary colors, big smile. Generate, and it brings out something like this. How about when you want to use photos either in a project or presentation of human beings? There is this site generated.photos/humans that gives you ability to see photos of humans that don't really exist and are void of copyright issues, but we can actually use them for our designs, our graphics, our presentations, and things like that. A good development is that Microsoft has released a free image creator with Copilot, and it's using OpenAI's DALL-E 3 engine. So this is an interesting development that we can take advantage of. So for instance, if we go to Copilot, you recall that we have been using Copilot a lot in this course. So coming to Copilot, by the right hand side here, you'll see Designer. So if you click on Designer, you see that you can actually create any image you can imagine for free, which is very interesting. Or let's say I want to create a realistic photo of a rainbow colored bridge that connects two cities. Okay, so I'll just simply type the prompt and click on create, and let's see what it brings out. Alright, so here it is. It has taken its time and it's giving us a realistic photo of a rainbow colored bridge that connects two cities. And this is nice. So I'm dictating what it should give me and I can pick what I want. Let's say I like this, and immediately it opens it in Designer for me, which is also very good. With Designer I can begin to work on it, change colors, and I can edit part of it the way I want. So this is really very, very good, and you can see it's powered by DALL-E 3 from OpenAI, and you don't have to pay to use this. Next, let's look at AI tools for creating videos. Now there are three of them here: Synesia, Runway ML, Pictory. There are many of them, but just a quick demo of Synesia. So here is Synesia.io. So it's telling us that turn text into video in minutes and get started for free. There are many useful information here. You might just want to go through them. I'll just say get started for free. So you may want to try this out. Just click get started for free. It will tell you to create an account and see if it can give you realistic videos that you can use. There are also AI tools for generating music. So, and these are just three I've been able to lay my hands on. So you get the picture. You can literally get an AI tool that can help you to quickly get a task done that probably you would have called a professional or a designer or somebody that is an expert before. How about for research? There are many tools for research, and of course we'll be going through some of them as the course progresses. But here are just four of them: Avid Notes, SciSpace, Connected Papers, Research Rabbit. Just take time to look at them and see if any of them can be useful for you in your work. Many tools are coming up every day. I just signed into my Acrobat Reader account this morning and I saw that I have here AI Assistant. I'm here to help you read, understand, and work with your documents more efficiently. So here are some questions you can try. Provide a list of 5 most important points. So you can open a document in Acrobat, ask it to give you the 5 most important points, create an email summary, what is the document about, literally interrogate that document straight from Acrobat. Interesting. So these tools are coming up every day, and do we make use of them or do we leave them? What is true is many of these tools will continue to come up every day. So there is this site I recently found, Fediadoio, and it gives us opportunity to discover what tools are available and when they come. So in a way, we can search to know what's out there and see which ones are free and which ones are worth us purchasing and using. And here it says we have helped 5 million professionals to leverage AI by helping them find the best AI tools. Maybe you could be one of them. So you can search, for instance, tools for education, and let's see what it comes out with. So here it gives us 12 tools, and many of them I've not heard or seen them, and some of them may be free, they may be linked with other tools, and it may be worth just checking out this site. Let's see what it says for research. Okay, so it's having several tools here listed for research, and you can see more as it goes. So a site like this can help us to check and to see what is out there and see what we can learn from there. So there you have it. Now let's get on with practical number 7. So what we do here is to pick a generative AI tool that you think can make an impact in your work, teaching, or research. Then use the tool to create a document, any of your choice or resource. Then you can upload what you have created to your Practical 7 page that is on your website. Remember to share the document in your drive so that anyone with the link can view. If you don't know how to do this, refer to the video sent by the Facilitator General. Then provide a maximum of 300 words reflection. Not too much writing. Provide a maximum of 300 words reflection of your experience. So the reflection should discuss what the tool is for, your initial expectations, or when you used it, what are the challenges you faced, and then the insights gained from the tool. The details of the submission will be provided in the next newsletter. So also note that we may use AI grading to assess the submissions. So there you have it. We have covered a lot of grounds. We have looked at data sets, principles behind generative AI, and limitations of the current generative AI systems, and then gone through some list of AI tools for educators and researchers. I hope you have found this video informative. Thank you for listening.